How many times a day do you look at someone else's life and think, if only I had what they have, I would finally be happy? It is a quiet thought, almost a whisper. You see a car that costs more than your annual salary, and you feel a pang of inadequacy. You see a photo of a friend on a tropical beach while you are sitting under fluorescent office lights, and you feel a heavy weight in your chest. You look at people with power, with fame, with perfect families, and you become convinced that they have solved the puzzle of existence, and you are the only one still struggling with the pieces. We live in a culture that is obsessed with the upgrade. We believe that if we can just upgrade our job, our partner, our house, or our body, the suffering will end. We spend our energy wishing we were someone else, somewhere else. But this wish is a trap. It is a circle with no end. There is an old story, a very old story from the traditions of the East, that maps out this circle perfectly. It is the legend of the stone cutter. Once, in a time long before machines, there was a stone cutter. He was a simple man. Every day he went to the great mountain. He would swing his heavy hammer and drive his chisel into the rock, cutting blocks for the houses of the wealthy. His hands were calloused, his back was bent, and his clothes were covered in gray dust. It was hard work. It was honest work. But the stone cutter was not content. One day, while he was delivering a stone to a grand mansion, he saw a rich merchant. The merchant was dressed in fine silks. He was carried in a comfortable sedan chair by servants. He had gold rings on his fingers and ate delicious food. The stone cutter felt a deep envy burn in his gut. He looked at his own dusty hands and said, "Oh, if only I were a rich merchant, I would be happy." And because in stories like this the universe is listening, his wish was granted. Suddenly, he became the rich merchant. He wore the silks. He ate the food. He was carried through the streets, and people bowed to him. He felt powerful. He felt important. But one day, the emperor passed through the city. The procession was magnificent. Soldiers marched in front, musicians played, and the emperor rode on a golden horse under a golden umbrella. Even the rich merchant had to bow down in the dust and lower his eyes. The merchant realized that his wealth was nothing compared to the power of the emperor. He felt small again. He said, "Oh, if only I were the emperor, I would be happy." And his wish was granted. He became the emperor. He sat on the highest throne. He commanded armies. He had absolute power over the land. He felt invincible. But one summer day, the heat became unbearable. The sun beat down on the golden umbrella. The emperor sweated in his heavy royal robes. The land dried up. The crops withered. The emperor realized that no matter how powerful he was, he could not command the sun. The sun was stronger than him. He looked up at the blazing ball of fire and said, "Oh, if only I were the sun, I would be happy." And his wish was granted. He became the sun. He shone down on the earth with glorious intensity. He dried up the rivers. He made the farmers curse the heat. He felt like the king of the sky. But then, a dark shadow moved between him and the earth. A giant storm cloud drifted in. It was thick and heavy. It blocked the sun's rays completely. The sun tried to burn through it, but the cloud was too dense. The sun realized that the cloud was stronger. He said, "Oh, if only I were a cloud, I would be happy." And his wish was granted. He became the cloud. He turned into a massive storm. He blocked the sun. He unleashed rain and wind. He flooded the valleys. Trees were uprooted. Houses were washed away. He felt the ultimate power of destruction. But then, he saw something standing firm amidst the storm. It was a giant rock on the side of the mountain. The wind howled against it. The rain beat upon it. But the rock did not move. It did not bow. It remained unchanged. The cloud realized that the rock was stronger than the storm. He said, "Oh, if only I were the rock, I would be happy." And his wish was granted. He became the mountain. He was solid. He was ancient. He felt eternal. The sun could not burn him. The rain could not move him. The wind could not shake him. He stood there, feeling that finally he had found the ultimate form of power. He was immovable. But then he heard a sound. Clink, clink, clink. He felt a sharp pain in his side. He looked down. There, at the foot of the mountain, was a tiny human figure. It was a stone cutter. He was swinging a hammer, driving a chisel into the rock, changing the shape of the mountain, piece by piece. The mountain realized that this small man had the power to break him, to shape him, to take him apart. The stone cutter was stronger than the mountain, and the mountain said, "Oh, if only I were a stone cutter." And he woke up. He was back in his dusty clothes, hammer in hand, standing before the rock. This story is a circle, and we are all running inside it. We look at the rich merchant, the CEO, the influencer, the celebrity, and we think they have the power. But the merchant envies the politician. The politician envies the freedom of the artist. The artist envies the stability of the worker. Everyone is looking at someone else, convinced that the grass is greener, the sun is brighter, and the burden is lighter over there. We scroll through social media, which is the greatest machine for envy ever invented. We see the highlights of everyone else's movie, and we compare them to the behind-the-scenes footage of our own boring lives. You see the digital nomad working from a laptop in Bali, and you hate your office. But you don't see the loneliness of the nomad or their anxiety about the next paycheck. You see the power of the CEO, but you don't see the crushing pressure of the board members or the heart attack waiting in their chest. Every position in life has a cloud that blocks its sun. There is no position that is free from limitation. There is no level of success that grants you immunity from suffering. The emperor still sweats. The sun can still be blocked. The mountain can still be cut. When we envy others, we are envying a fantasy. We are picking one attribute, their money, their beauty, their freedom, and imagining that their entire life is made of that one substance. But a life is a complex package. If you want the merchant's gold, you must also take his fear of thieves. If you want the emperor's power, you must also take his isolation. The turning point for the stonecutter was not when he became the emperor or the sun. It was when he realized that his original form, the one he despised, actually held the power he was looking for. He was the one who could change the mountain. The power was in the chisel. The power was in his own hands. This is the lesson for us. You are already the stone cutter. You have the agency to shape your own reality. But you cannot use your chisel if you are too busy staring at the merchant's sedan chair. Accepting your current role does not mean you have to stay there forever. It does not mean resignation. It means realizing that where you are right now is the only place where you have any power. You cannot act from someone else's position. You can only act from your own. If you are a stone cutter, cut the stone well. Find dignity in the swing of the hammer. Find art in the shape of the block. The moment you stop wishing to be elsewhere is the moment you become powerful here. Think about the work you do. Maybe it feels small. Maybe it feels insignificant compared to the emperors of the world. But look closer. You are shaping something. You are contributing to the structure of the world. Without the stonecutter, the merchant has no house. Without the stonecutter, the emperor has no palace. Your function is essential. The cycle of envy is a cycle of weakness. It drains your energy because it focuses your mind on what you lack. The cycle of mastery is a cycle of strength. It focuses your mind on what you have and what you can do with it. So, the next time you feel that familiar ache of jealousy, the next time you catch yourself saying, "If only I were him," or "If only I were her," remember the circle. Remember that they are looking at someone else, too. Remember that even the sun has a master. Stop looking up at the clouds. Stop looking down at the procession. Look at the rock in front of you. Pick up your hammer. Feel the weight of your own life in your hands. It is yours. It is real. And it is the only thing you can shape. You are not the victim of the story. You are the one holding the chisel. Cut the stone.